Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this latest edition of Tales from Outer Space, where I take stories from across the internet and read them for your entertainment. This particular story is called We Need Only Endure, written by Captain Candy. In an intense interrogation chamber aboard an alien ship with two beings, a Zarthinian and one human. The Zarthinian was doing the interrogating, and the human was doing a good job of keeping his mouth tightly shut. The Zarthinian had been doing this for nearly a month now, with the same human, and the only things they knew about him were that he was male, his name was Joshua, and his will was completely and utterly fracking unbelievable. Finally, the Zarthinian had had enough and raged out the human in front of him. The torture chambers were, after all, a perfect place to vent. Soundproof rooms to mute screams, a captive audience in the truest sense, and the ability to make sure the said audience is never able to say a word to anyone when you're done.
Damn you humans, all of you, each and every last one of you. What the actual hell are you people made out of? I know there's literally iron in your veins, but this is just stupid. I know for a fact from your brainwave activity that you are experiencing pain the level of which should kill any normal species. I've done everything I can think of to get humans to talk and come up with a few new innovative ideas along the way that also didn't work. I locked one of you in a total isolation for a full 3 months, and before talking, the human chose to actually go insane on his own. I've drawn out so much pain before that brain death occurred from overload, and even until the very last moment, when I gave her an opportunity to speak, she chose death in silence. Sure, you lot make noise and clearly feel pain, what with the screaming and cursing and all. But how do you all continue to not have any information despite all of that? It'll make the pain that's so severe, it can actually kill you go away. By just giving us some basic information, but each and every one of you refuses. I've been doing this for over 70 cycles now, and I've never once failed to get information I wanted from a patient until you blasted apes came along. Well, he was huffing for breath, and having screamed at the top of his lungs and continuously punched the human for a good minute straight, Joshua actually chuckled. Well, I guess I can spare a few words for those questions, for the answer is a long one. Joshua said those last words in a sing-song voice. The interrogator knew it was simply to enrage him further. Indeed it worked, as he felt his blood pool outwards and slightly expand his body out in the sheer rage it induced. Still, there was this first words of information that he ever gotten from a human, and he was rather eager to finally hear something to report back to the higher-ups. To explain why none of us talk, I need to take you back to our hunter-gatherer days, and what made it so humanity was able to not survive or thrive but dominate our home world. That Earth you've been so dead set on locating, and that we've been dead set on not telling you the location of. The interrogator stood up a little straighter at the mention of Earth and the human's ancestry. This was information that they had wanted for years. You see, our earliest ancestors weren't the fastest or the strongest. Recent evidence has shown that back then we weren't even the smartest. We can run with professional training and no implants, only at about 28 miles an hour. We can bake under our own star and die from exposure to it. Our skin tears easily, and we have no natural weapons. Despite all of this, we managed to rise up to the very top of the food chain. Intelligence came after dominance, it would seem. Can you guess why the humanity rose to the top despite all of this, with all their weaknesses? The interrogator paused now, deep in thought, before unconsciously but honestly shaking his head in the negative. Well, it's simple, really. Humans are persistence hunters. An animal can run at 60 miles an hour and get miles away from us. We didn't have to keep up with them, though. We just had to keep up. Broken twigs, footprints, and the like. Sure, the animal could run from us again and again when we caught up, but slowly it would wear itself out. Humans don't have that issue. We can run for hundreds of miles before we need to rest. So once it was exhausted and its muscles couldn't physically move anymore, we would catch up, and that was the dinner bell. Now I'm sure you're thinking about bigger or stronger creatures than us, right? The Zarthinian nodded his head slowly without realizing, and Joshua continued.
We just had to surround them, wound them enough to spook them and make them run away. Some fight are now standoffish or just don't know fear, so we use numbers to resurround them and take turns poking it with pointy sticks. If one of us gets hurt, we swap out with someone from a second or maybe even a third team. Eventually, the animal runs out of steam and then once again, we ring the dinner bell. Perhaps an animal is smarter than us and can avoid our traps and thinking. Well, then we simply needed to push it out of its area or do sweeps for the creature when we know it's there. What if it's a pack predator that is stronger than us? Rare, but we do have them. We outthink them, we set traps near their territory. It's like rock, paper, scissors, really. Are they stronger? Use numbers or intelligence. Are they perhaps faster? Simply endure. Are they smarter than you? Brute force it. Endurance is the name of our game, and damn, have we mastered it. At one point in human history, we were alive during the Ice Age, for example. 11,000 years we had to survive temperatures that could, in this cold season, freeze our blood in minutes if we went outside exposed. We hunted a lot of creatures and set up temporary villages across the planet. We turned into wanderers, as no farms could possibly be established in those conditions. We hunted things with teeth that could go inside one side of us and out the other, claws that could shred stone at times, things that weighed enough to crush us like ants underfoot. For 11,000 years we endured, even the environment tried to kill us, and humanity didn't even fucking flinch. In fact, we used that Ice Age, perhaps unknowingly, to spread and colonize and put a human on every continent and island on the planet. We've had plagues that have killed nearly 50% of our population before, and we stuck it out until we got better. We've had wars that have taken down our infrastructure and sent the planet back centuries, and we endured. No matter what the situation is, as long as we wait, as long as we work together, as long as we use our heads, we will find a solution. Humanity, as an entire species, are persistence hunters that aren't good at much, but we are masters of one thing: endurance. Our culture reflects this in many ways: our day-to-day lives, our media, our ideology, our military tactics. Speaking up to this point, Joshua smiled bloody teeth that sent the sudden jolt of fear through the Zarnithian. He stepped backwards and stutteringly asked, Well, then why would you tell me all of this? If you only need to endure, then why suddenly speak like this after months of silence, no matter the torture? This time, Joshua laughed a cold, vengeful chuckle. Because I don't need to endure anymore. Hunting Group B should be here any second now. Ding, ding, ding. Can you hear the dinner bell, Metch? Metch screamed in utter terror. How do you know my name? Before Joshua could answer, the ship shook from some sort of impact, and an alarm bell began to ring. But to Metch, that bell sounded like a death knell, calling every human within a light year, telling them that it was time to eat. Story number 2. Human Brevity. It's Quite Maddening, written by Ceramic Boy.
I know I've said this before, but I'll say it again, look. John absolutely hates me, and I don't know why.
I'll tell you that you're overreacting again. What's the point?
He does.
All right. Why aren't you so convinced this time, Hall?
Well, I figured maybe if I associated myself more with other humans, he'd like me better. So I spoke to Steve about it, and he invited me to one of his parties. He said that I was more than welcome to bring John along.
That was your grand plan for changing your supposed rival's opinion of you. One of Steve's parties?
Well, yeah.
And how'd that go?
John said, sure, when I invited him.
But did he go?
Yes. But he never moved out from behind me. I was terrified that he was waiting for the party to get loud enough to shank me and get away with it without anyone noticing.
I doubt Steve's parties ever have an inopportune moment for a shanking. Those rages he throws are some of the loudest events I've ever attended.
Quick, hush, John is coming.
Oh, brother.
Hi, John.
Hello?
Well, how's your day going, John?
Better now.
All right. See you later, John.
Bye.
You see what I mean? He hates me.
That might be the first time I've ever heard John use multiple syllables as a response.
Cool. New experience for you. Back to my thing. How do I get him to like me?
You really are the densest sapient on this planet, aren't you?
Yeah, like a 2.45 grams per cubic centimeter. What's that got to do with anything?
Oh my god.
Shh, he's coming back. Hi, John.
Hello, Hall.
Did you need something?
Just figured I'd say thanks for the invite yesterday.
You are more than welcome. Be sure to let me know if you want to go out again sometime.
Okay.
And if you ever want to chat or hang out, my door's always open.
Okay.
Oh, and so sorry about the holes in your yard. I didn't realize I'd sink that deep.
It's okay.
Is there anything else you need?
I'm okay.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye, John.
Okay. What the hell? That was a full-blown conversation with John.
So what?
And you're still convinced he hates you?
Yes. Didn't you notice how short his answers were?
Didn't you notice that he approached you first? And that he held the conversation instead of wandering off like he does with literally everyone else?
But it's so obvious that he hates me.
You're hopeless. End of story. I'd quickly like to thank the T5 peeps: Cold War Boomerwaffen, Severin Cerberus, Bushmaster 177, Henry the Red, Caspar Arnholtz, Cold War Boomerwaffen, Elijah Silvercross, Dragzoon WRE, and Severin Cerberus. Thank you very much.